How's it going, everybody? Oops, sorry about that. How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTCReaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading while the price is going up or down. So over on Dixie for the daily, momentum is running away. That blue wave, our VWAP is in the bearish territory, our yellow wave. Remember, as that VWAP continues to push with lower highs and consistent lows, momentum will continue to weaken. That will weaken this money flow, that green wave, and that will show we have further selling pressure. Usually if Dixie goes down, crypto would go up. We do have some things on Bitcoin that could be positive, but it may take a couple days. So we do look decent into Dixie for a retracement. Again, that would be positive for crypto, but we would need to break and reject that 300 EMA here. If we make a bounce and get above our EMA band, then we do have a chance to fill this gap and then continue above it. Stochastic does want to round, momentum is rounding. Our VWAP is pushing down and the money flow is in the green, so we do look positive on the money flow right now. But if that VWAP breaks through that neutral, momentum will round and that money flow could follow. And remember, that would be positive for crypto because crypto usually goes up when Dixie goes down. So over on dominance, Stochastic does want to round, RSI is starting to pull back, money flow is pushing up, but that VWAP is a little more on the bearish side. If that VWAP does not reverse soon, we could see it reject, and that would cause dominance to retrace. That would mean altcoins would outperform Bitcoin. So over on total for the daily, we could have a double top here. I would exercise caution. Took a little while for that to load. So we do have a double top here. If we break that 300 EMA, we could continue lower. RSI is pulling back. Our stochastic is starting to weaken, so I would watch as that stochastic continues to trend down. RSI and price can do the same. Our VWAP is in the bearish territory, momentum is favoring bearish as well, and money flow is in the green, but if that VWAP remains bearish, we will see a rejection here. Over on total for the 1 hour, we do have lower highs and lower lows, so we do have a bit of a bearish continuation going on here. They may be straightening out, so I would watch. Remember, if they do straighten out, that could create a descending channel, and a descending channel would be a bullish pattern. So if you mix the wicks and the candle bodies, then you do get that channel without cutting through anything. That could give us a push above that 602, 603 area, and then we would retest that 300 EMA, and we would need to continue through that golden pocket to continue bullish momentum. Otherwise, if we reject in that area, we would still have the potential for lower highs with lower lows. Our VWAP does want to push up, momentum is gaining strength, and money flow is trying to gain strength. So if that VWAP continues forward, our money flow will go into the green, and we will continue further. So over on Bitcoin futures, we did get a gap down, so that is positive. Remember, as you create gaps, you do have an 80% likelihood to fill, and we do have lower gaps. So if we do see a rejection, we could fill those lower gaps. However, I think we're at one or the other kind of situation here based on election outcomes and how that usually works. Usually around elections, you do see crypto go up regardless of the result. RSI is starting to weaken, stochastic is pulling back, momentum is rounding, VWAP is breaking down. That does not include war. Bitcoin has not seen a time of war though. So over on the 1 hour, we do have a gap to the downside, so I would watch. We did fill this gap to the upside on the lower time frames. So while we do have it on the daily, we did technically fill it on the 1 hour, so I would watch against lower time frames falling lower, but Bitcoin does look a little more hopeful. Stochastic is pushing up, VWAP is pushing forward, we do have higher highs and higher lows, momentum is gaining strength, and money flow does want to break that neutral, so we do look like we could continue further. So over on Bitcoin for the daily, we do have a head and shoulder, inverted head and shoulder potential on the lower time frame. RSI is pulling back, momentum is weakening, VWAP is pushing down, money flow is in the green, so if that VWAP can continue further, then we can continue to bounce, but that VWAP is currently favoring bearish. If that continues, we could reject. It may depend on election outcomes. Remember, that's going to have a big difference because we have two different parties with two different ideas about crypto. So over on the 1 hour, we are below our EMA band overall. We do see those EMA bands starting to curl up though. When they start to curl up like this, we can gain bullish momentum to push up. I would just watch for a rejection. If we get a rejection and we manage to hold kind of where we are right now by making that other shoulder and then continuing forward, that would be where this pattern could come into play, and that would push us right around that 71.2k area. So that would be positive, but that could be the if scenario if we have the positive outcome. If we have the not so positive outcome, then we may fill those lower gaps. Stochastic does want to push up, VWAP is gaining strength, momentum is pushing forward, and money flow does want to break through the neutral, so we do look decent here. Over on graph for the daily, we did reject our support level of that 14,316, and we are continuing to our fib area right around that 12,674. RSI is pulling back as that stochastic favors bearish, so that VWAP is starting to lean more bearish, so I would watch those lower time frames. If they start to favor bearish, it's likely we would continue down. Momentum is breaking down, but that money flow is in the green. If that VWAP makes a rejection, we likely will see money flow start to reverse on lower time frames. So the 1 hour money flow has been red for quite some time. That 4 hour is red as well. That is what led to that breakdown. Remember, when you see that confirmation across time frames, you do tend to get those big moves. Likewise for green money flow. So over on the 1 hour, VWAP does have higher highs with higher lows. That's a bullish trend pushing momentum higher. Stochastic and RSI want to bounce, so we do look positive. If we can hold above the blue EMA, then we could continue further. We also want to see a break and hold above that yellow. That yellow did act as a pretty strong resistance almost twice for us, so we would want to see a break above that, then get higher highs with higher lows to continue further. So over on Anchor for the daily, we are also going to cover SHIB today, as that was requested in our Discord. Click that link for the Discord is either in the description or in the comments if you want to join. Money flow is pushing forward, VWAP is pushing up. We do have higher lows, so watch for higher highs. If we get higher highs, momentum will continue forward, and we can continue to bounce, breaking that value area low. Remember, that's on the fixed range volume profile that we have. So over on the 1 hour, we do have the potential for a double bottom. We have a drop, a rise, and a drop. So if we continue and break that 2338, then we could continue toward, I'd say, right around this 2422. So we can draw that out. So there's our path tool. There's your drop, your rise, your drop. You would continue here and then continue up. So you would get your break by measuring from your neckline to the tip and then applying that from the neckline up. And that would give you that push to that 2461, right around that EMA. Our stochastic does want to push forward. RSI is gaining strength. VWAP does have higher highs and higher lows. If that VWAP stays bullish, then it's likely we could see this play out. So watch that VWAP very close. Over on XRP for the daily, we got indecision candles, so we don't know where we want to go. Stochastic is dropping down, RSI is weakening. That VWAP does look like it could round, so watch those lower time frames. Momentum is pushing down, and money flow is in the green, but if that VWAP rejects, that could change soon. So over on the 4 hour, money flow is starting to pull back. At 1 hour, money flow is trying to break bullish. Watch this 1 hour very close. If it breaks bullish and holds, then we will see higher time frames continue up. However, if that money flow remains in the bearish territory and VWAP pulls back, it's likely price action would reject our EMA band and then continue lower. Right now, the EMA lines are kind of straight and pointing down. They're not curling, so they're not really showing signs of a push forward currently. RSI is starting to weaken. Stochastic is pushing up though. If stochastic can hold above 30, RSI could bounce, and then that could start to push price forward. We would need a higher high with this higher low to give us a potential for a rising channel or a bullish continuation. The rising channel would end up breaking you back down. The bullish continuation, where the highs and lows don't connect, would be what would bring you up. So over on Algo for the daily, we did get most of our breakdown again, so we are going to delete this flag at this point, as it's pretty much played out. I will also delete this channel, as you don't want to get greedy, and things do look like they're on edge, so they do look like they could flip up over the next couple days, providing we get that bullish momentum. Stochastic does want to push up, and it is starting to round here, so watch if blue can cross orange and hold. That would push RSI further. VWAP is trying to gain strength. Momentum is pulling back, so I would watch that VWAP having that higher low could help push us up if we get a higher high and then remain above that neutral. But that would be dependent on these lower time frames gaining strength. Over on the 1 hour, we could have that double bottom here as well. That would give us a break right around that 1153. Stochastic is pushing up, RSI is pushing forward, VWAP is gaining strength with higher highs and higher lows, so that is positive, and momentum is pushing forward. If VWAP can stay bullish here, money flow could flip into the green, and then that could start to strengthen those higher time frames over time. So we will cover SHIB now, as it has been requested over in our Discord. Again, hit that link in the description or in the comment. And also, if you haven't visited the Mastering the Trade series, I would click that link afterwards. So over on SHIB on the daily, we do have a bit of a sideways action going on, consolidation. So this could be positive, as that could create a bull flag for us. It's not a really big channel for the flag, but we could draw it somewhere in, let's say here. I would mix candle bodies and wicks, considering this is a freak break down and that's a freak break up. So that would also be your pull right there from the beginning up to the top. And then you would apply that up. That could give us a break forward to around 24,883. So that would be a pretty decent bounce. If we can stay above that 300 EMA, we do have a potential for a rounding bottom. So we need to break on that third touch to the top. This would be where we would want to bounce. If we retrace here and reject this pattern, then we could revisit these previous consolidation ranges like this 14 with 16.5. RSI is trying to round up. Stochastic does want to round forward. VWAP is pushing up. Momentum is starting to gain strength. And that money flow is in the green. So we do look positive for that potential, depending on if lower time frames can remain more bullish. So over on the 1 hour, we would have a couple freak breakdowns here as well. We do have the potential for this to be that kind of double bottom, but that would be kind of stretched for that drop. So I wouldn't really count on that happening here. But we did break back into our pattern. We did make a bounce, so that is positive. Watch for higher highs and higher lows that do not connect to break that 300 EMA, and then we would be able to continue forward. Stochastic does want to push up. RSI is gaining strength. That VWAP does have higher highs, and we are in the bullish territory. So if that VWAP stays bullish here, momentum will continue forward, and money flow could go into the green. And if that money flow stays green for several hours, that would be what would give us that strength to push through that EMA and then continue to the top for a potential breakout, retest, and continuation. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I appreciate all of you. Have a great night. Hit the like, subscribe, and join our